Hi, my name is Eddie Santos. I'm a retired Army Sergeant with more than 23 years, and I am a disabled vet. I've been all over the place trying to get assistance for my disability. And as for right now, the only person that seemed to help me out was when I went to the congressman's office, tried to get some assistance for him to help me get my prosthetic leg fixed. So finally the congressman had me the opportunity to go to Palo Alto in San Jose, California, where they finally fixed my prosthetic. If you need help and you seem to not get it anywhere, you should go see our congressman with the people he has there to help us veterans get what we need and what we deserve for doing our time in service for the freedom of our island and for our country.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
A lot has changed overnight, but Buick and GMC's commitment to you remains the same. We understand you want to feel safe, so we're offering current owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services. Should you need a vehicle, we're offering 0% financing for up to 84 months with deferred payment options for 120 days. Plus, you may have the option to shop online and take delivery at home. Visit our websites for the help you need.
Visit AutoSpot GMC today.
Funerals actually take a lot more planning than I expected. With us using Island Cuisine for the first time, of course we were iffy, but once they came and showed us their service, their food, tasted their food and everything, we definitely use them again because their service and food is just awesome.
The pompous
and elite wish we go away
because we are
real and direct.
No interest owns us,
and we have no interest but the truth.
Together we are exposing
corruption.
Together we will reform criminal justice.
Together
we are fighting violence
against women and children.
We here at
Kandit will shine the light
on every corner of darkness.
Together we are giving a voice
to the voiceless
and forgotten.
Stay lit.
Together.
Together. Together. Together.
Together we are giving a voice
to the voiceless and
forgotten.
We are Kandit News Group.
Mr. God 2019. I just want all of the sailors in the USS TR to know that I'm thinking and praying for you. Thank you. Bye.
Hafide, my name is Kai, and on behalf of the Island Cuisine family, I would like to send out a great big Undunklunesi Ziwas Maasi. Thank you to all USS Theodore Roosevelt sailors for all that you do. We wish and send all prayers for a speedy recovery, and we will keep you all in our thoughts. Thank you for your service. God bless.
Hafide, my family and I extend our deepest condolences to the friends, family, shipmates of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, a sailor who passed away recently. May we join the people of Guam in extending our prayers and our support, and may God continue to provide comfort and strength during this very difficult time. Sujus Masi.
Hoffaday, I'm Jim Moylan, and I want to extend my condolences to the family members and the loved ones of Chief Petty Officer Charles Tracker Jr., who had passed and was amongst those who tested positive for the coronavirus on the USS Theodore Roosevelt. I understand the hardship one experiences while serving our country, and I appreciate the time and effort our military members put in to protect our country and her borders and the sacrifices they made, most especially at a time like this with the extremities of COVID-19, where we all are in a fight not many have experienced before. To all those affected by this, let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers. We are in this fight together, and we will weather this storm together. Stay safe and protected, and may God bless the sailors of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, and God bless Guam.
Hi, Maria. This is Troy.
Half a day, sir. How can I help you?
Half a day, Maria. How are you and your family doing throughout all of this?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I'm working, as you can tell.
Yes, thank you for that. Because I have a question about a specific topic that a lot of our viewers. You're not live right now, but I am recording. A specific topic that our viewers have been asking about over the past week, and it is, how do you recall a governor? And so I know that one of the ways to trigger a recall election is by a vote of 10 members of the Guam legislature. But if people wanted to go the petition route, are you able to tell me how that process can get started and completed?
Yeah. Troy, the only, at this point in time, because I'm not in the office,
okay,
I can tell you to just go to Chapter 1 of Title 3.
Chapter 1, Title 3.
Yes. And on there, they'll tell you they'll tell you about recall.
Okay, I know that there are thresholds, and so those numbers, to meet those thresholds, can be found in your audited election reports, right?
Or on our website.
On your website. Thank you so much, Maria.
And if it's not easy enough for you to find it, call me back.
Okay, and also, I know there's a petition. Is there a template, the form for the petition that can be found online, or is that something we have to get from Guam Election Commission?
There is a process where you have to submit. You have to. I know that with the initiative for referendum.
Yeah.
You have to submit something to us so that we can approve it to get on top of the petition.
Okay.
Now, with recall, I believe I may be wrong, Troy, but it may be the same process.
Okay, so do I just find that where that might be in your rules or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you should. And if you can't find it right away, call me back.
Okay, thank you, Maria.
All right.
You have a good day.
I'm going to be in the office tomorrow.
Okay.
So I should be able to help you more efficiently.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
All right.
Okay,
bye.
And so we will be calling Maria Pangilinan tomorrow to find out more about this process of recall, because it's becoming a louder issue in the community. Buenos Zan Hafade, Marianas in Micronesia. I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Johnny Rosario.
Welcome to our studios here in Tumon, Guam. It is 6 de Mayo. Did I say that right? Is that Spanish for 6? It's May 6th, and it's Wednesday. And it is hot, and it is nearly 2 months since the public health crisis began, or the public health emergency began. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you all for your well wishes for those who don't have much to eat, or their babies don't have enough diapers, or they don't have hygiene supplies and other supplies because the government is full of it. Thank you so much to those who have been donating. And thank you so much to those of you who have, you just put your pride to the side. And because, are my microphone's working? Because your family is in need, you are in need, you've come here or you've asked us, or people have just been coming here, right?
No, they're calling.
They're calling
first.
okay.
They're being how do I say that? Forwarded here. Like
okay.
They're everybody, people who are hungry, even if it's their neighbor, they're calling asking if their neighbor can come because they're hungry. Because I'm seeing a lot of the hotel industry employees that were furloughed because of the COVID.
And that's also a thing. Viewer Mark Wardallo was asking, how do we screen people? Because we said that we're screening because if you are already on food stamps and if you're looking for food products, then we're gonna go on to the next person because you already have food stamp assistance. But they might need diapers, right?
Yeah.
Which food stamps don't provide.
Right.
So if they need diapers, they can come here and get diapers or whatever.
And
so
that's why I ask.
It's no questions asked except for if you are already on public assistance.
Yes.
And you don't have a problem getting food through those resources, then please allow for other people. And so you're seeing more people who they were workers, but the governor had them furloughed when she closed down industries throughout the island, correct?
Correct. And their applications have not been processed yet. Most of the people that came today, I believe there was 13 families today that came.
Wow.
Most of them applied for food stamps and still have not gotten a response, and they were furloughed in March.
Which is among the questions that we asked to join in the TIC today.
Yes.
The Tadza Information Center. Also known as the Joint Information Center by law. If you've noticed, I've kind of been on a rampage against the governor and against the administration because, enough is just enough. And so every opportunity I get, even if the good news comes out of the governor's office, I'm like, nah, the governor didn't do that good news. It was the congressman. And if there's anything, like with this, this idea of furloughed workers in the private sector, I add the little bit of flavor with the whole, when the governor furloughed their industries. Take it as you might. Just know that my bias right now is I am on a complete rampage against the administration because they just need to go. And we'll get into more of that. But first, on this issue of food, so we were able to speak with Dr. Ricky Hernandez, the Deputy Administrator of the Guam Economic Development Authority, also apparently the governor's economic advisor right now. And he said...
Dr. Ricky Hernandez was working with the reason why the Lieutenant Governor was very quiet these past couple of weeks, right? It was the Lieutenant Governor working on the economic...
Oh, yes.
Sustainable economic, whatever.
Now Carlo Branch is bringing his stooge, Ricky Hernandez.
No. I believe the Lieutenant Governor was working with Ricky Hernandez so he can present this to Guam. It was,
correct.
It was,
yes. You're
and then when
right.
the governor saw the plan and saw, this can get the heat off of me, or this can make me look like I'm doing something.
Yes.
You're not going to present it. I'm going to present it.
Yes.
Right?
That's how it was supposed to roll. Yes.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. So, surprisingly, the guy who's apparently involved in providing economic relief or planning for economic relief to the people of Guam, when asked whether he is aware of any planning whatsoever, any pen to paper that has taken place over the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks since this public health emergency started to provide food to struggling families, he said, quote, "Nothing that I'm aware of," unquote. And of course, that's just astonishing. In 7 weeks, almost 8 weeks that we've been through this. She's very, very cute. She likes to do that to me. you done? You done? My boyfriend just said, come here. In 8 weeks that this public health emergency has been happening, there's nothing about food.
And they keep saying, oh, it's DOE.
It's not their program. That's a federal program. It doesn't
I-
even provide on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, thank God for that program. Thank God for that
That
program.
when the administration goes to jail, they're going to at least get fed 3 times a day.
Well, we have another story about how that might not even be so.
Well, they're not serving time here on Guam. They are going to federal pen.
Oh, they're going to the big house.
Yes,
They're going to
yes.
the big house. So, we asked Ricky Hernandez about this, and he said, you know, I'm not involved in all of the planning. Maybe, I just love these guys in the administration. They're like, maybe because I cannot provide you information on everything. Maybe someone else in Unicorn Land has planned this out. It's not out of the realm of the reality of Unicorn Land that someone else who's not in the Economic Recovery Task Force.
You know what this administration or the governor reminds me of? You know that wonderful fake land tomorrow? You know, when you're going to, I'll get it done tomorrow. Huh? Every time, tomorrow. Tomorrow, Cello. I'll see you early in the morning tomorrow. And I come waltzing my butt in at noon. So that wonderful...
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow.
So that is... So that is what I think the governor's nickname should be. It's tomorrow.
She's like the little
Right?
orphan Annie.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow. Lose only a day away. Son of a gun, man. And this is not a funny situation, though.
It's not.
There are people starving. Literally, Congressman Mike San Nicolas, he's not even on Guam. He has not been able to come back home to campaign for his own re-election, to see what's going on Guam. Even he, how many miles away is he? Like 10,000 miles away in Washington, D.C.?
And he's the one making sure Guam's included in that federal money that the governor is misspending.
Even he can see that people are starving. And so he started up a food drive. But not one single penny in the governor's spending plan of $117 million in federal CARES Act funding that was really meant to get food and housing and education to people is being spent on food.
None.
Hardly any spent on housing. 0 spent on education. 0. And so now it is up to the community, and thank goodness for the real spirit of Inafa Maulik, not the kind that Amanda Shelton likes to orca about in the halls of the Guam legislature, but the true spirit of Inafa Maulik and community that exists on our island, where people are heartbroken about the story that Johnny told yesterday about the old woman who had to walk from Hamburger Road to our office. We didn't know that she was gonna walk.
She never even said, baby, I don't have a car. She never said that. I just said, I told her where our office is, and she said, okay, she'll come. Never said, you know, because some people that I do talk to and then I arrange drop off will say, oh, but I don't have a car. So I'm like, okay, then you have to wait for me to get off work or whatever, right? The lady never mentioned that. And then when she calls, I said, I'll be standing, because her English is broken, you know. I said, I'll be standing outside waiting for you. So I'm waiting for a car to show up, and here's this lady, little old lady, walking. And I'm like, she is not walking. This is not happening right now.
And so stories like that have broken people's hearts. And there are people who have been coming here. We had actually more donors than there were recipients today, of people bringing in like 1 plastic bag, 2 plastic bags, and they're saying, this is all I could afford, or this was all that I had in my shelves. But I want other people to have this.
Yeah.
And here is our government of Guam not lifting a single finger for these people. Well, they lifted $5,000, but there's another story to that. And we're going to get to that as well. But because of this spirit of Inafamalik, more people are getting involved. There's Congressman Mike Nicholas's office. There are, as we understand, food banks associated with the American Red Cross and the Salvation Army that have actually been doing this before we did, right? And now the Guam Daily Post is getting involved. Can we put up that flyer from the Guam Daily Post? And we have to congratulate our sister media agency. It's called Feed the Need. Their goal is to feed 1,500 people by the end of this campaign that they're doing.
Cool.
Yeah, they say no family should go hungry during this pandemic. This begins Monday, May 11.
Donations will be accepted through. So from now all the way through
May 11th.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. Through May. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. So if you want, donate over at the Guam Daily Post. Their phone number is 649-1924. And give them a call if you need to get some food from them. This is a wonderful program that the folks over there at the Guam Daily Post are doing, and we're going to promote this as well. Another wonderful program is Buen Provecho. So they're one of our advertisers, and so we've been promoting them. Can we put up their, there we go. The one with the three circle things so that people know how to, there we go. So all you have to do is go to their website, BUENPRUBECHU.com. Register with them. It's first name, last name, and email address, and then place your order. For every single penny of profit that this company is making, at least for the time being, is going to be donated to
back into the community.
Back into the community to feed the poor and everything like that.
Yeah.
So whatever you spend in this company, aside from what you're buying for yourself, the whatever money that that company is making, 100% is going to go back into the community. And so thank you very much, Buen Provecho. Thank you very much, Guam Daily Post and Congressman Michael Nicholas for moving this community along at a time when we just cannot have any faith in our government or any trust in our government to do something right.
What gets me is she told everybody at the beginning of this pandemic to apply for food stamps. Mm-hmm. Yet she did not put any bodies to process applications. Mm-hmm. So they're missing a screw or screws or something. I don't know. 8-ball status.
Let's see what your comments are before we move on. 8-ball status. I love that so much. Rich and Joe Mino says there are still good people out there. There are a lot of good people out there. Mark Huggins asking, are those legs in the background?
The dog, maybe? I don't know.
Where, fam? Does your computer say naughty police department?
It does.
Captain Cutie?
Yes, it does. It does.
Sandra Rages says, that's freaking sad. She didn't even know Guam had food banks. Guess she never thought about how the people of Guam were feeding their families. So check this out. This morning, if you were able to capture our live stream this morning, we were able to speak with Nick Rupley from the Joint Information Center, or as we like to call it,
the
TATA Information Center. And there were a lot of questions that we asked, and we were not able to get any answers because it's above his pay grade, basically. The people at the Joint Information Center have been told not to answer questions without getting them approved by the governor's office. It's as simple as that. And the frustrating part for all of the media is that if you call any agency to get an answer, those agencies would tell you, we cannot answer, you have to call the Joint Information Center for that answer. And when you call Joint Information Center, they tell you, oh, we're gonna have to get that answer from the agency and call you back. It's so stupid. But these were the first part of the questions that we asked. And we still have not received an answer from the Joint Information Center. And the questions are, why are SNAP benefits taking so long to process? Why hasn't the governor's office transferred any additional staff to public health to assist with processing SNAP benefit applications? Will there be an increase in the poverty level threshold to allow more people to qualify for public assistance? Within the last 6 weeks, have either the governor or the lieutenant governor personally donated food to any hungry families? And within the last 6 weeks, has there been any pen to paper action to develop a plan to get food to hungry people? Because Ricky Hernandez told us, you know, he doesn't know, so we'll ask the Joint Information Center, right? Maybe they know about the rest of the government. But just particularly on the question, within the last 6 weeks, have either the governor or lieutenant governor personally donated food to any hungry families? That's such an easy thing to answer. It's either yes or it's no. And we included both the governor and the lieutenant governor in this email. And we followed up and followed up and followed up since this morning. And not one response from the governor's office except John Jr. Calvo, the new chief of staff, telling us that he has directed the communications team, that's Carlo Branch, Janela Carrera, Crystal Paco, to answer our questions. I'm not sure how effective John Jr. Calvo is as the chief of staff, or whether Carlo Branch, Janela Carrera, or Crystal Paco actually respect him as their boss. But despite the order from the chief of staff to answer our questions, we've received no response on these questions from anyone at the governor's office. Not from Carlo, not from Janela, and not from Crystal. And you would think that if the governor fed even one hungry person, or the lieutenant governor fed one hungry person, they will be all over the opportunity to answer that question with a simple yes, but nothing. What's so difficult about answering that question?
They're BC. B to the Z, Troy. BC.
Honest to goodness. Let's see, Fan, what your comments are first. Justine Ray Rodriguez Flores says, the Gov personally donated money to a hungry family. Her family. Hungry for money. David Lebowski says, Gov bomb workers have always been told they can't talk to the press or face crap. Not while I was director of communications. On February 10, 2011, Frank Ariola and I issued a memorandum to all government and GOM employees lifting all gag order restrictions on all GovBomb employees and telling them that they are free to talk to the press as long as whatever they tell the press is not told on behalf of their agency if they did not have the permission to speak on behalf of the agency. So at least during the first 4 years of the Calvo administration, there was the ability for GovBomb employees to speak to the press. And the times that we heard that directors were curtailing the free speech of GovBomb employees, those directors were immediately punished for doing so, at least in the first 4 years of the Calvo administration. Sandra Ray just says, how do people not qualify if people's income is zero? El Flores says, I told you, Troy, they're not going to call you back. And they didn't. You were absolutely right, darling. Mike and Grace Blas say, I Swiss orange juice. James Howard says, let's send a FOIA. Actually, we did send a FOIA today. Mark Uggan says, every other administration would have been out giving food and assistance, playing the PR game, but this administration is too busy hiding. Peter Lozano says, Salvation Army Food Bank is 477-9855. Call the food bank. Ismael Velez says, what do we do about incompetence, especially from someone who wants total dominance? Someone who has little integrity, someone who believes in secularity, someone who doesn't value human life, someone who is always filled with strife, someone whose heart is 2 sizes too small. All we can do is recall.
Boom.
Damn,
Boom.
Ishmael.
That is a Mike St. Nicholas drop right there, right?
I like that.
That's a Mike St. Nicholas drop. Mike and Grace Blas say, Billa wrong. Cecile Rages says, they opened up the preserve so people can go catch fish. What a joke. Oh, no, actually, I was in Tumon Bay, and the fish are gigantic. Yeah. I guess it's because, I don't know if it's like there's so few people going into the water that the fish are able to reproduce and grow and like eat other fish. I don't know what's going on, but the fish are giant.
You can only, I guess, rod and reel.
There are Amanda Shelton-sized belugas in the water at Tumon Bay. I'm not kidding.
Was that the shark?
There was a shark.
No, that's you have to go a little bigger.
Oh.
But only not when it's low tide. You know, obviously, like Amanda will be like ankle high.
Dorsal.
In
fin
yeah. Let me see. Justine Ray Rodriguez Flores says they got to get their lives straight. That's why. I guess we asked a whole bunch of other questions of the Joint Information Center today. Let me go on with it because this is our next story. What has the administration done about tax refunds for tax year? I'm sorry. Why has the administration lied about tax refunds for tax year 2019 being paid out? That has everything to do with the whole, like, oh, we're releasing 2019 refunds, and yet they said that the refunds that they're releasing were for returns filed up to January 10, even though everybody knows that they weren't accepting returns until January 27. Who in GovGuam is monitoring banking activities to ensure that loans are being processed in accordance with CARES Act standards? We're going to have a story about that tomorrow. Explain the staffing situation at the Department of Corrections. Why are some corrections officers working overtime when newly recruited officers are able to fill the schedule without DOC incurring overtime costs? Why haven't DOC inmates and detainees been tested for COVID-19? Why aren't DOC detainees and inmates being provided cleaning supplies to disinfect their quarters? Can we get the governor's comment on this? Why did it take Nick wrote this wrong.
1 month, it's supposed to be 1 month.
Oh, nearly a month for the administration to acknowledge a mistake in testing in reference to a statement made by the Joint Information Center about this 1 milliliter dilution thing. And then, has the Guam testing protocol with the Abbott testing finally been updated to reflect the April 14 protocol issued by Abbott? Nothing. There's nothing except on the last two questions. So Crystal Paco actually did respond to that. And all she produced in her response was what was already in their news release from last night. They didn't answer why the governor lied about this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't answer why it took nearly 1 month to come to this conclusion. All they said, all they regurgitated out was the same information they put in last night's news release. Nothing's gonna change about this administration, you guys, because it wasn't even.
It'll change as long as we recall her.
Yeah, got to change the administration. There was a concern I saw in the comments earlier. People were saying no because it's gonna be the same. There would be a succession. Actually, no. If a recall happens prior to the halfway mark, then the people of Guam would have to have another election for governor.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's called within 90 days of the recall of the governor or something like that. Or maybe it can be held simultaneous to the recall like they did in California when Arnold Schwarzenegger was elected. The question was, I think it was Gray Davis who was recalled from office, and it was a double ballot. Do you vote to recall Governor Gray Davis? And if so, who will you elect for governor of California? And that's how Arnold Schwarzenegger was first elected.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Arnold. Where is that guy? Is he still alive? John, he is? He's still alive? John Sanchez says, we are in for a recall. Let's see. Let me go to Rosie Bear says, I don't understand why the people of Guam haven't got their stimulus yet. Well, actually, we have a story on that. Sylvia Kenyatta says, only people with connects filed early, Nai. Oh, thank you, Chris and Valerie Kaipat. Denise Pangolinan says, just like their press conferences, they don't know shizo. Bernice Castro says, Gov Guam and the administration are full of shiz and only look out for their own. It's okay, because come election time, a lot of people will be losing their seats that they begged us, the people, to give them. No kidding, they do beg, right? At the election, there's always begging for our votes. They're the nicest people then.
I don't think we can handle another 2.5 years.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Bistra Rosanova Mendiola says, the nature is healing, why won't we? Because our leaders are always lying to us and people are going hungry. Rich and Joe Meno said, Troy, your cucks. John McDermott says, can't only catch certain species. Oh, are there rules about species of fish that you can catch at the preserve?
Is that what goes on? But like, what if you don't know? Like, you cast your rod and reel, and you have to throw it back, I guess, right? If it's a certain kind.
Hell no.
No.
I wouldn't.
Hashtag hell no, said the Palawan.
Oh, oi.
Oh. Yuck. Yeah. Sylvia Canata says education is priority when they are running. Yeah. But I'll tell you, Sylvia, they put $0 into the Department of Education out of $117 million in expenditures. And just a friendly reminder, $849.49 of that is for a laptop bag. $749.40 is for a wireless mouse.
Shame on them.
Yeah. Aste Jojuli says, Amor Mendiola says, leading us off a cliff, that's what. Kathleen Afjahi says, why are they opening up some places, especially the mall? That's a big no-no. Like, really, I'm not sure if that's a good idea right now when they are still testing and the cases are still going up. I mean, isn't that crazy enough? You know, Kathleen, you may have a point. You may have a point, and you have every right to be concerned because for the past several weeks, the government of Guam has known that the way they've been testing using the Abbott ID Now machine has been wrong because Abbott told them, and we know this because Abbott told us that they told Gov Guam that they were wrong, and not to use a 1 milliliter dilution vial transport method, VTM, to swab, insert into the dilution vial, and then transport to the public health lab to test. That's what they've been doing.
And that's wrong.
And we've pointed it out to them. Weeks ago, we pointed it out to the governor's office and the Tabza Information Center. And we weren't the only ones. Nick Delgado pointed it out. I don't know if KUAM did. I don't know if the PDN did. All I know is the Daily Post, the Ray Gibson Show, and Kandit News pointed this out to the people at the TIC and at the governor's office. And Governor Lulian Guro continued to dig in her heels and say, yeah, baby, doing it is right. I'm a nurse, Nick, you know. I'm a nurse, and I know everything.
Can I have the charger?
Yeah, sorry. I'm so disgusted. So finally, they have quietly admitted that they're wrong, and they have...
They made sure it was way down, buried in the press release.
At the end of the press release.
Yes.
And not even like a press release of its own. It's on the one about the nightly infections, right?
Yeah.
And so so I don't think that they've actually implemented the new protocol yet. They're moving the Abbott ID machine to the Northern Regional Public Health Center where the testing is happening, so that they can now take the swab and put the swab directly into the machine right after the test is conducted. But they still said that they have to train the staff over there and how to do it. So I don't know how long that's gonna take. They don't ever say it. In Crystal Paco's stupid response, they don't say anything like that. So the news tonight of the 2 additional positive cases, I don't know if that's a result of them using the new or the approved method from the emergency use authorization, or if those results came from GRMC or one of the clinics that is using another type of machine to do the testing. Speaking of GRMC, Kandit is likely going to have a story tomorrow about the real corruption. The real corruption, what really went on with these test kits and the Abbott system, Abbott Laboratories. Not that Abbott was involved, just the moneymakers on this side of the fence, and how things flowed when you use a position of authority in the government of Guam.
It didn't flow because it stopped it so that someone else could get it.
Yeah, there is a whole story to it, and we've been tracking it for a couple of weeks now.
And I've been dropping hints on the post and telling them where to look, and you know, this is what's happening and who's making money. And they said next week for the test. And then it didn't come in because they had to order another one because that one didn't want that one because that one's not going to make money.
And while insiders continue to make money off the backs of this crisis, it is so sad. This is like worse than what Ralph Torres did with U2. This is worse.
Yes.
And I can't see how these guys are going to get away with it. Finally, cash assistance is going to come to the people of Guam, at least those who are qualified for those $1,200 checks, $2,400 checks, and $500 for children. The Department of Revenue and Taxation today received $108 million out of $134 million that was approved for the cash assistance program from the U.S. Department of the Treasury. The governor's office tried to pass it off as, you know, we did this, you guys sit down. You guys did nothing. Matter of fact, you guys screwed up the process and it took this long to get the money to Guam. So shut up and sit down, governor's office. The real credit, despite what the governors did, what do you call them? Fan club?
Yeah.
Troll club?
Trolls. Or Kandit trolls or whatever.
The real credit belongs to the people who actually worked on the application the right way, to Congressman Mike Nicholas, who made sure that Guam was included in the funding, and then had to quarterback the issue with the local government because of the wrong steps that were being taken, to the senators who put the pressure on Adelup to do things right, and to the senators who voted in favor of the passage of Bill number 333 into law against the governor's veto, because one day after that happened, all of a sudden, the governor's office is ready. The Department of Revenue and Taxation is ready.
Then now they're going to give, what's the name of that program?
Program in Salapi.
That one, yeah. I don't even know what it is.
So that's a 300, I guess it depends on a certain income threshold.
Again.
And it's in addition to the 1,200, I'm sorry, the federal stuff is supposed to be coming next week. They didn't say what day or anything like that. They just
Tomorrow.
said next week. Tomorrow?
In the land of tomorrow. Oh. Again, the governor. Tomorrow. Johnny, when are you going to pay the bill? The power bill? Tomorrow, Cello.
I'm trying to remember the lyrics to that song and how it starts. Hold on.
Ooh.
Tomorrow lyrics, Annie.
People were writing in the chat.
Lou Morrow.
And Tumalu.
Oh my gosh.
Tomatlo.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Viva sunshine! Just thinking about tomorrow. Clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none.
I feel like this thing is shocking me.
Oh, does it have an electric charge, Cello, the microphone?
Very low.
Well, it's burning my skin.
Oh.
There, I fixed it.
You want to trade?
No,
You sure?
Yeah.
So, as all the insiders are making money, cash assistance finally is going to come tomorrow. Next week, they said. They didn't say when. But the administration now has this program in Salapi. They're going to use $20 million from the $117 million pot of CARES Act funding. And okay, it's additional money. And you know what? That's going to be good for those people who qualify for it. We have to give credit where credit is due. But Senator Jim Moylan is saying, hey, I sent you this program to get $800 in additional funding on top of the $1,200. $800. I sent you a program, a plan. And more people would have been qualified under this program that he had. And it would have required some sacrifice by the government of Guam. And it should require sacrifice by the government of Guam because there isn't an endless pit of money, but it was realistic. And the governor just ignored it and said that the program is moot, she said, because I have my program. Well, your program sucks, lady, by comparison to Jim Moylan's plan. It sucks by comparison or in comparison to Regine Lee's plan. So I'm not sure who's advising the governor about her tomorrow, but it's off tune, all right? It's more off tune than I am.
Actually, Joe, that wasn't bad.
I was looking for that.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was great.
It was great.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. I wasn't expecting any of those compliments. Whatsoever. Like, you know what? Since you guys have said so, I'm gonna eat a donut. Tony Smith got us these donuts, everyone. Now, Carlos didn't get it from me. If it was Carlos is Kandit in the video. In the video, the Kandit
commercial?
video.
Yeah.
Carlos is, you see Eric, Johnny, and I. And if you don't recognize that fourth person, that's Carlos Pangolin. Anyway, Carlos loves the idea of me getting fat. And I love the idea of Carlos getting fat and old. And and he would normally bring all like the donuts to us. But today it was Tony Smith. But it wasn't because Tony wants me to get fat. It's because he just has a really big heart. So thank you, Tony. And it's Winchell's. We love Winchell's. We love Denny's of Guam.
Yes, we do.
Denny's of Guam is Denny's, Domino's, and Winchell's, right?
Right.
Good stuff. Because honestly, I can't wait for the economy to open because I really do want to go to Denny's. The one in Toowoomba, not Dedado. And I want to go to Ross. I don't, like, when Ross opens, like, it's going to be 5 in the morning, right? Son of a gun, I'm going to be there at 3 in the damn morning. I'm going to, like a crackhead. I'm going to have a lawn chair. I'm going to be like one of those crazy white women in Michigan waiting for a Black Friday sale, you know? Camping out at Ross. And I will trip anyone who tries to get in front of me. Matter of fact, if there's a line in front of me, I'm going to cough on all those people.
Or you're gonna be an Irish woman standing outside of Home Depot.
Hang on, before we go to stories, I have to eat a donut. See, it says Team Kandit from Tony. We've been getting phone calls from inside the Department of Corrections. And, you know, normally when we get these phone calls, it's for people who want some help with their cases. But this was very sad because they didn't want any help with that this time. They were just telling us that they're not being fed enough. Their food portions have been cut in half, which doesn't make any sense because that food vendor is still getting paid.
Right.
Right? The prison, in order to do this whole social distancing, blah, 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 stopped the receipt of incoming. Incoming is like when the family of the inmate or defendant or detainee brings in some change of clothes, cleaning supplies, hygiene products especially, right? They stopped that and they require you to mail that in. The problem is that it costs money to mail things.
And remember, if you're gonna go by weight, because you're mailing in shampoo, conditioner, all of that good stuff, it's heavy. So you're gonna go with the medium box or the large flat rate box. That's still $26 for the large flat rate box.
And honestly, who has a spare $26 these days? The Leon Grow administration's gutted the entire middle class. Left the poor to eat cake with the governors. Just go apply for food stamps. It's not called food stamps anymore, lady. It's called SNAP. Only we, the common people, can call it food stamps. Crazy ass lady. Anyway.
Oh my God.
What happened?
We can't see this out. I need to verify, but look.
Oh, stand by.
Read that last sentence. That's why she is doing what she's doing.
Wait. So.
I'm gonna verify. I have to verify first, or else I'll get in trouble from Jacob if I don't verify. I want to tell the world because it makes sense.
That she's a Christian.
You know.
So, so now that most of the inmates and detainees are not getting shampoo, soap, underarm deodorant, cleaning supplies,
toothpaste,
like Lysol.
Yeah.
Toothpaste, replacement toothbrushes.
They don't like
getting
Lysol.
clothes.
They like Fabuloso over there.
They're not getting changes of clothes. and the people who are just being brought into the prison are left in their undergarments that they were arrested in. They're not allowed. There's nothing that they have to change into.
Right.
And they, as of 2 days ago, they were down to just a little bit of soap, that liquid soap from 1 gallon that the entire prison population has been sharing from. And they've been rationing it. You know, each of them has just been using very little because there's just not much left. And they've made this known to the prison's warden, and nothing's being done, and no one's covering this story. But the thing that should really upset policymakers, on top of course, the deplorable conditions that these people are going through, is that none of them have been tested for COVID-19, even though some of them have presented symptoms to the infirmary, and we're just told that they can either take cough syrup or Tylenol. And these people are living in close quarters.
They give that away like candy. You have a toothache, they're gonna give you cough syrup. You'd be amazed about the jail and their medical system there. Like, you can complain of, and all they do give you. They even give you amoxicillin for even a bacterial.
That's crazy because the Department of Justice can just swing in and take that place over.
Well, maybe that needs to be done.
They're violating U.S. Bureau of Prison standards.
Well,
it's crazy.
It's been going on for years.
Brad Hewitt says, and I'm so glad he's out of Facebook jail. President Trump tweeted this for the states and Guam. Quote, well-run states should not be bailing out poorly run states, using coronavirus as the excuse. The elimination of sanctuary cities' payroll taxes and perhaps capital gains taxes must be put on the table. Also, lawsuit indemnification and business deductions for restaurants and entertainment, unquote. Brad says, that means the U.S. taxpayers are not paying for a GovGuam dream sheet because they can't produce those items out of the regular budget. Well, she is, Brad. She is, and right in front of us, with all her arrogance, she is going to spend that money on an $849.40 Gucci laptop bag. Was that, it wasn't Gucci, it was Gucci? Someone said it could be Tumi, but you found out based on the price, right?
Yeah.
That it was a Gucci bag. Yeah. BBMR wants to buy a Gucci bag with your money. Ladies and gentlemen, so the prison situation, and this is something that we asked the Joint Information Center as well. What's going on? Why aren't you guys doing this? And they have no answer. Nothing. Of course, you can't get through to the prison.
Yeah.
So, and what recourse do these people have? It's not like they can communicate all the time with the outside world. So they can be abused and neglected for as long as the prison's warden wants, and who will know about it? The administration. You know, they say they're Democrats. And normally you think of Democrats as like, oh, you know, they're the ones who like care about people and, you know, they have compassion, whatever.
They want free everything for the people.
Yeah.
Right?
This is not a very Democrat administration.
It's not. They're pretending.
It's a Democrook administration.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very crooked administration. And then before we go, we circle back to the rehaul issue. And speaking of corruption, the latest story that we did tonight, aside from the Mike Phillips, the making fun of Mike Phillips because he's an idiot story, is, like good king, everyone kiss goodbye to the dream of Chamorro self-determination after 500 years.
Speaking of Democrook.
Yeah, no kidding. And he's so greasy looking. What is that about? Why does he look like that?
He doesn't like to wash his hair.
Or his face. He looks cochino. So 500 years, nearly 500 years since the 1521 landing of Magellan on Guam, the dream of Chamorro self-determination has died at the feet of the United States Supreme Court because Mike Phillips couldn't put together a motion to save the legacy of the Chamorro people.
We caught it.
Yeah.
Isn't this our bright governor's idea to appoint him for free? Wasn't that for free too?
For free. Look what you get for free.
Yeah. Well, it's really not free because the people of Guam have paid millions of dollars for a junk investigation into the Port 7.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not for free.
And all the kickbacks and all that stuff.
Yeah. Millions, 25-hour days.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Phillips is the only person I know that gets, all of us get 24 hours. He's allowed 25 hours in a day to bill.
Well, Mike Phillips ain't the only one making millions off of the taxpayers of Guam or from federal funds or whatever. The Bank of Guam also is, and Jim Moylan wants to find out more about this. So in that spending sheet of the governors from the $117 million in CARES Act, you can go ahead and cast on my screen for this story. A part of that was a $9.5 million appropriation or grant to the Department of Administration for two things. One is some stupid system that they don't even describe what they need it for, but they said it's for CARES Act compliance, some data system. And $3.5 million to pay for credit card fees. And of course, credit card fees are paid to the Bank of Guam. So Jim Moylan's like, hold up there, Sonny. Not tomorrow. But in a letter to DOA Director Ed Byrne, can you read that?
Mr. Moylan wrote and asked, as our office reviews the CARES Act budget, which was presented by Governor Luliang Guerrero yesterday, there were several questionable expenditures that raised our interest, of which we wanted to bring to your attention. Since it was in relation to the Department of Administration, there is a notation that $3.5 million will be budgeted to address credit card fees. For this item, I would appreciate your assistance in addressing the following questions. The governor's TEAM plan, which was presented in March, indicated that fees for credit card transactions would be waived for a certain period. Hence, are these the monies that will be paid to the Bank of Guam to cover that shortfall? The answer to that is yes. Considering that the team plan was established weeks, if not a month prior to the discussion associated with the CARES Act in Congress, was the government originally in discussion with the bank to get the fees waived? Of course, the actual question here is, what would the government have done with the shortfall had the CARES Act not been enacted? While in theory, this expense could be considered COVID-19 related, the question is, has there been a discussion with the bank to get those fees waived for 3 months? As businesses, including financial institutions throughout the island, have been providing reasonable options for island residents when it comes to obligations. Everyone, including the government of Guam, is struggling financially, and this $3.5 million can instead be provided to those middle income earning families who have, 1, been furloughed, and 2, don't qualify for the governor's cash assistance program.
Here, here.
$3.5 million in credit card merchant fees equates to around $140 million in credit card transaction.
I'm glad you did that math on that.
Is the government anticipating this much in credit card transactions for the 3-month time frame, or is this considered relatively higher than anticipated, as many entities have been tightening their belts during this pandemic? Would your office be able to provide a breakdown of quarterly transactions that the government attains through credit card payments? In regards to item 2, the budget states that $6 million will be used to purchase a financial reporting system which would be able to ensure compliance with the CARES Act. Wouldn't a standard spreadsheet assist in tracking and monitoring these monies to assure that they are being expended appropriately? I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a firm advocate for efficiency and would recommend that the government invest in a system that would promote e-commerce activity for the island, but it seems that this reporting system being proposed is for specific purposes. Please advise that the intent of this investment, what the intent of this investment is all about, and what other actions it can generate.
So Jim Moylan raises a good point because we've been so focused on the $3.5 million in credit card fees. The other question is, what contractor is going to get the $6 million to put this data system together? Because it ain't going to be spent on, it ain't going to be put together by GovGuam workers.
Right.
They're going to contract that out. So who do they have in mind? And how did they arrive at the $6 million figure? How do they know that it's going to cost $6 million for a system like that? And of course, the government is going to tell us, oh, we just guessed. And of course, well, I don't know, they may be this stupid. They may have been stupid enough to put it in email traffic, their corruption, because Hai Hyun was stupid enough to put his corruption in email traffic. But who is this? What company is this? There are very few companies on this island that have the wherewithal to do this, and at that scope. And so, and of course, a couple of them are politically connected and financially connected to the Leon Guerrero administration. We're going to dig a little bit more into that. And so thank you, Senator Jim Moylan, for raising an issue that inquiring minds do want to know. What's up with this? And he can see it for what it is, $3.5 million in credit card fees to the Bank of Guam, while no money was provided for food for the poor.
No. And then there's certain credit cards they don't take when you do pay it before this COVID-19, okay? So businesses couldn't pay with credit cards.
Oh,
okay? But all of a sudden, fees are waived, and now you can pay with the credit cards because it's not really waived because the CARES Act is covering it. So now they're accepting all kinds of credit cards.
Because they want this $3.5 million to go to the Bank of Guam.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, but I mean, are we surprised?
The story's not done.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. So this is the second part of it. This is probably the seedier part of the story.
Guahan Sustainable Culture. Ms. Leon Guerrero's list of expenditures of $117 million in federal funds includes a $5,000 grant to Guahan Sustainable Culture, which is the only non-governmental organization listed to receive funding through this round of funds. The governor pointed at the grant as one way the administration will help to provide food to people. She and her administration have said the government will purchase food from this cooperative to be distributed. The cooperative includes the organization's founder, Michelle Crisostomo, who owns Guam GU Hydro, a hydroponic system and supplies company. Ms. Crisostomo is the girlfriend of the governor's former chief of staff, Anthony Babauta, who resigned in the midst of a corruption controversy. The funding category this grant is under is named Provision of Grants to Small Businesses to Reimburse Costs of Business Interruption caused by required closures. Guahan Sustainable is the only business listed in this category, while other small businesses will have to wait to see if they qualify under guidelines. They have not yet been completed and released, according to the governor's economic advisor. It is unknown at this time whether the $5,000 re-grant to Guahan Sustainable is a reimbursement, as the category name suggests, because the governor's office is not answering our questions. However, on April 24, story published in the Pacific Daily News shows that Ms. Leon Guerrero was lauding a drive by Guahan Sustainable in purchasing produce from farmers, then donating the produce to residents. Throughout the governor's list of expenditures, not a single penny is dedicated to a local government program to provide food vouchers to hungry families. And the one thing that comes close to it was financially connected to her administration. Can we put a picture up of that Guahan?
If you go to my screen, the picture's right there.
Isn't there farm to table? There's other programs, other farms.
There's farmers themselves.
Yeah. But let's choose Anthony Babauta's partner.
Yeah.
Right? His girlfriend.
The only, that was good. The only business to be named in this list of expenditures. Everyone else was a government organization, a government agency. Even the Department of Education is not on this list. How sad is that? How sad is that? So yeah, there's this.
They didn't even put anything there for our children who are stuck at home, and there's no real live video chats for them to be in school. None of that money went to get our kids in class.
Nothing.
What if this disease goes further than August? Our kids are still gonna be at the house, and they didn't put any money into getting my daughter and my son to get on a computer and to have a classroom online. Nothing at all.
Or for Amy Jackson's son to have a graduation somehow that doesn't involve lots of people together. For any graduations to happen.
What about the kids that have autism that attend these public schools? Nothing.
No support system for kids. But the governor says, go get food stamps. SNAP, lady, it's SNAP. Today, to now, not tomorrow. So, while our government is screwed up, the people are not. And we know this because we've seen it firsthand. The giving nature of people, how people don't want to see each other starve, and how young people like Dominique Blas want to see truth and justice in this world. And while Dominique lives 7,000 miles away in California with her dad, Carl.
And her mom.
And Dominique, we love you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Auntie Johnny and I love you very much. And Uncle Eric, we all love you very much. And your drive and your spirit. And we thank you so much for being part of our Kandit commercial. So before we talk about this whole recall thing, I wanted to show everyone. See, when Johnny had this idea to do this Kandit commercial, she put a call out to a bunch of people who have been, viewers and stuff. And once we had enough, we didn't have to ask everybody, right? And so please don't feel bad if we didn't ask you. It's just that we only needed so many. And Dominique put in a video, and you see the whole script of it, right? And there are people who only say a few things at a time, but actually that was cut up from videos of these people saying the entire script. There's something very special about the way Dominique did her video, and you're gonna see it right now.
The pompous and elite wish we'd go away because we're real and direct. No interest owns us, and we have no interest but the truth. Together we are exposing corruption. Together we will reform criminal justice. Together we are fighting violence against women and children. We here at Kandit will shine the light on every corner of darkness. Together we are giving a voice to the voiceless and forgotten.
We just love her.
That's Carl and Sonia's Blas's daughter, Dominique.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that just warms my heart. Now, to another thing that warms my heart is reading your comments. I freaking love your comments. And you guys are freaking savage, man.
I love it, guys. Don't hold back.
I spend a couple hours after the show just reading comments and laughing my butt off. Sylvia Barb says, it's insane to open the mall, especially Ross. Man, Sylvia. But you know what? You might be right. I don't know. Lance Guam says, DOE should have a budget for distance learning. Well, the governor ain't going to give them any money, yo.
And why isn't John Fernandez fighting for it?
Why? Actually, I got something from Maria Gutierrez.
What?
That might be a story tomorrow. I haven't read it completely, but there is something. That might be a story
Well,
tomorrow.
maybe if we put the pressure on them, if they opened their mouth before this came out, we could have put the pressure on, and maybe they would have been included.
Yeah. Brandy Hall says $700 plus for a wireless mouse. I have an extra wireless mouse. Leah Ignacio says, have you opened up the Mall of Guam online? There's no Ross. Well, then I am not opening up Mall of Guam online. Chris and Valerie Kaipat say, I'm so glad Mr. Fernandez and his DOE team know what they are doing. I am fearful if they took charge of the free breakfast lunch program funds, BIBA, DOE, BIBA, Sodexo. So what she's saying is that she's happy that the government of Guam is not the one in charge of that program, and it is DOE protecting those funds and administering that program. John Ray Tysono says to Ismael Velez regarding his hashtag recall, Ismael Velez, hashtag tell the others. Oh, we will, Cello, we will. Mark Egan says, with all the testing being wrong, leaving the house to go to the mall is dangerous. Man, everyone's nixing my Ross idea. Lots Guam says, there are so many kids without communication devices. That's so true. Denise Pangolina says, guess I will try to buy some stuff at the mall with shells I've collected over the years since I have no money. John Jose Cruz Sanchez says, we the people of Guam need honest and truthful government. I hope we can recall. That's what our island needs. DT says, ha ha ha, the Abbott and Lou show comes to Guam. I see what you did there. Jason Matthews says, the government wants more positive cases in the hospital so that Medicare and Medicaid pays $13,000 to $30,000 per patient. Cecile Rages says, opening the preserves was their way of helping the people of Guam. Now you don't have food, go catch fish. Now what a joke. Ismael Velez says, don't call it an administration, call it the clan of taxation. It's not an administration if they can't administer a kindergarten spelling test. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Sibirongel, how am I saying that, Chalu? I butchered it, right? Mm-hmm. Sibirongel. Andres says, roll those eyes again. Just talking about me. Sylvia Barb says, retest. Martina Cruz says, the testing kit is wrong and they are opening the island. Not the kit, the method. Their method of testing is wrong. And they are only now fixing that. Tiff Roberto says, is the governor still sticking to only basing the release of stimulus on tax year 2018? I hope not, because she doesn't have a choice but to follow IRS guidelines. And the primary year to be looking at is 2019, with the fallback year being 2018, to make sure everyone's caught. Denise Legaspi says, if that's the case, I'm stinking rich, LOL, replying to Denise Pangolina about the shells. Jojo Nicole Resurrection says, as a nurse and your MAGA hogga, I know best. Busta. Alexa Ray says, did anyone read comments on KUM News of how some people think that us people who are against the government are going to go against how we feel because of the so-called stimulus checks to be out as early as next week? It's not all about it's not all about that if any one of you are here watching. It's about helping the people of Guam with any kind of assistance. I can assure you, Alexa Ray, the only people who are complaining that there are people complaining about the government are the people who are close to the Leon Guerrero administration. Like, the average person is just as upset as you are and upset as the rest of us about what's going on and because of our government.
Mike Rosansky says, where's the FBI and all of this corruption going on? Oh, they're here. They're here, Mike.
Brad Hewitt says, while transporting the Abbott machine, will it get a police escort? Vanessa Navarro says, I'm a Tat Lumaro Leon Guerrero.
Marlena Allo says, furlough her already.
That's up to us, people. That's our next thing to talk about. Mark Huggins says, I heard that the virus that impacted Europe mutated and is a lot deadlier, and fear of a second wave of sickness is yet to come. John Sanchez says, Linda, listen, Linda. Matthew Cruz says, corruptions. He says something else, but you guys can read it yourselves. Brad Hewitt says, all of GovGuam needs retraining for their jobs ever since. He should make that a hashtag. Alexa Ray says, saw that, some scary stuff, be safe all. Talking to Mark about that Europe comment. Dinah Munya Castro says, leche, brown, burum, and loku. Rich and Joe Meno says, Troy, do you know how long the government will be paying the hotel rooms for passengers on flights coming in? And when will the executive order put out last week about them paying out of their pockets for room and board? That's the story that we're working on, you guys. And thank you for raising that, Rich and Joe Meno. So to answer your question, there was I believe it was a initial 14-day period with a 15-day decontamination period with options for renewal up to 60 days for all of these hotel sites. Sylvia Barb says, why not get from South Korea? That'll be part of the story regarding corruption in the test kits tomorrow. Crystal Iakar Brando says, the rich continue to get richer and the poor get poorer. The middle class are forgotten. Sir Conrado Bulala Runas replying to Alexa Ray says, those complaining about us complaining are the lackeys, cronies of the administration that have not struggled as hard as most of us. Guarantee some of them are still enjoying paid vacations. They sure are. Mm-hmm. Oh, can you continue reading comments? There is something that I wanted to do before we did this recall thing. Let me just get the phone number.
Lots of glom say Ray Tenoria is watching.
Well, buenas there, Ray. Glad you finally joined our show. Chalu. No hard feelings. No hard feelings, you know? Mm-hmm. You're in North Carolina. I'm sure you got the message. You know, you did your thing to me. I did my thing to you. And we are even Steven now, buddy. So, hey. How do you say it? Like, let bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
And we
you're
can set all...
You're Empus.
Empus?
Yeah.
Empus. And you know what? I'm a Christian now. I'm part of the Christian mothers. I'm not, but... Hey.
Ray Tenoria is probably watching what a cluster.
He's probably laughing his butt off.
Yes, about Lou Leon Guerrero.
He's probably thinking, glad I'm not the governor for this.
Susan Redeb says the kids also have something to add to their resume. I don't know what. Oh, she's replying to EJ and Tish. If flights that are coming in, oh my God, it's moving fast. Guys, wait, stop.
No, don't tell them to stop.
I can't read it.
Okay, but hold on, because I'm calling. Hold on.
Oh. Yes, teaching moments.
Hi, is this the Pacific Star Hotel?
Yes.
Hi, may you please connect me to room 1909?
1909?
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and transfer just a moment.
Thank you very much.
Baby, they're doing the nasty.
Don't you have to press 2 buttons to do the transfer? Oh, look at the notation. It said, do not transfer calls.
What are you up to?
Baburius. Can you put the tag cello on the phone?
Sir,
Oh, hello.
The line is busy.
For room 1909?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. And it continues to be busy. Is that Rebecca Respicio?
Actually, Rebecca's here at the front desk.
Oh, may I speak with Rebecca Respicio?
May I know his name?
Troy Torres, Kandit News.
Troy
Torres.
I'm sorry, what was it? I'm sorry.
Troy Torres, Kandit News.
Troy Torres. Okay,
yes,
one moment.
Thank you. Wait, so who's
Let me go ahead and transfer the phone call to her line, okay?
Thank
Just
you.
a moment.
So who's in room 1909?
To find out who it is.
Clash Shelling says, whoa, the sounds of the 19th century. Mailman says, pick up the phone, Janella. Christina Lynn Fernandez says, I wonder who's staying there right now. Maybe Tony is still there hiding with his Chapmac Janella. We love you too, Sonia. You're very welcome. We just get to enjoy this 19th century, apparently, classical music.
Music is older than the park that they have in there. Ask about the scabies.
Oh yeah, scabies, that's right.
And the air cons are broken. There's only certain hours that people can drop things off.
Laundry was another thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you put for the lower third waiting for?
Waiting for?
Rebecca Respicio, comma, Pacific Star Hotel. Okay. Oh, this is so exciting. When I'm stuck in a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, hi, may I speak with Rebecca Respicio, please?
I'm sorry she's not available right now. May I take a message?
Oh, the lady just told me she was transferring her because she was right there in front of her at the front desk. Did she leave?
No, she hasn't left, but we have an incoming flight. She's busy with that right now.
Oh, who am I speaking with then?
Who is this?
This is Troy Torres.
Okay. I'll let her know you called.
So may I ask who's speaking?
Maybe that's her girlfriend, Alice. Oh, Troy's mad.
Your phone etiquette sucks.
Hi, who was the lady I was just talking to?
It was me.
What's your name?
Iris.
Iris, what's your last name?
Nacto.
I'm sorry?
Nacto.
Napville?
Yes.
Are you with Pacific Star or are you with the government of Guam?
I'm working at the front desk. I'm just connecting phone calls.
So you're with the Pacific Star Hotel?
Yes.
Okay, and so what can you tell me, because you didn't even ask me for a callback number or anything for Rebecca Respicio to call me back.
Oh, yes, because she's assisting a guest right now. They're doing some check-in.
Okay, so wouldn't you just ask me for a callback number if there was an intention?
I actually have your number, sir. I wrote it down on my sheet of paper.
Okay.
So, and she is aware who it was that called. She said she's going to go ahead and get that information as soon as she checked in the case. But I have your number here already.
All right, thank you, Iris.
Okay, no problem.
You have a good day.
What?
Sorry, I get kind of worked up there when someone's rude to me, you know? Like, I am, like, generally a not rude person. And then when people are rude to me, when I wasn't being rude to them, like, it just works me up in a very bad way.
Iris connected the call. It was someone else that responded to you, and it sounded like Janella. The person that hung up on you was Janella.
That second person, right?
Yes.
And Iris is this first person.
Yes.
That's why Iris sounded nice.
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
Yes. I'm not right. Our own.
Yeah. Got it. Tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we really do have to explore our options here as a people of Guam who are, honestly, we're just being dicked around by this administration. And maybe there are good people in the administration. You know what? There are good people in the administration. I'm not contesting that. I'm not going to be unrealistic and say that, you know, the administration is just evil. No, because there are good people who want to do good things in the administration. But sadly, our governor, and I don't know, jury's out on the lieutenant governor right now, but at the very least, our governor, she's the one who told her communication staff to mute those microphones on the reporters. She's the one who has led such terrible, terrifically terrible policies throughout this entire time and allowed the rest of her staff to take the fall for her. That has led us to the position that we're in now. She's the one who dug in her heels about this Abbott ID Now machine. And
So did
look at
Linda.
where we're at. Both of them.
Yeah.
But it was the governor. Because the governor's, all her pride. It's just too much. Unmanageable for a manager of 12,000 government employees in an island of 170,000 people. It's the governor who, by her own admission, ordered her son-in-law to conduct an illegal procurement that benefited her bank.
Everybody on our live is saying it's Janella that was the second person, bro.
That's why she was so rude, right?
Yes.
Never mind.
I'm such an instigator.
I was gonna call Janella's cell phone, but never mind. That's not gonna end well.
I guarantee you, if I drive over there to Pacific Star, there's no intake. What time is it?
11:24.
There's no intake.
What is that? Oh, like
Flight
passengers?
Came in. Where? From where?
Oh yeah, huh?
They're lying.
Liars, Dalkun Melanias. So you know what, guys?
Janella has to work. She is not going home. She's staying there.
Yeah, and who was at 1909? Because they said the line is busy at 1909. And Rebecca was at the front desk. So who the hell is in the presidential suite?
Maybe Alice.
So at the very least, we know that there is someone still staying in the presidential suite. Son of a
Everyone wants
gun.
you to call Janella. Yeah.
This is what we're gonna do, guys. Tomorrow we're gonna call Maria Pangilinan and we're gonna find out how to start a recall petition. And if after sleeping on this tonight,
No,
we wake up
will
in the
dug
morning.
In our heels. We will be just like the governor. I will go around, and if I have to get people to sign it with my gloves and my mask, I will do that.
Okay, I guess we're starting a recall
Because
petition.
I have this icky feeling in my tummy when people are donating and I see that they don't have much themselves, and I'm giving it to the people that are hungry.
I suppose the only question is, does the recall petition include the lieutenant governor's name as well?
It doesn't matter. We just need to get Lou out of there.
All right. Cool
It
with
doesn't
me.
matter.
Hashtag recall. For Candid News, I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Johnny Rosario. Good night.